Am I the asshole for refusing to let my new boyfriend meet my kids after 4 dates? I, a 32-year-old female, have been divorced for 2 years, and I'm a mom to two boys, ages 8 and 6. The divorce was tough, but I'm in a much better place now, and my main focus has been making sure my kids are happy, healthy, and well-adjusted. I don't regret the divorce, but it's made me pretty cautious when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to bringing new people around my kids. Recently, I started dating again, and I've been seeing this guy, Tom, a 32-year-old male. We've gone on 4 dates, and things have been going well. He's charming, funny, and we have a lot in common. I'll admit, I was a little nervous getting back out there, but he's made it easy. That said, I have a strict rule that no one meets my kids unless I'm sure there's potential for a long-term relationship. I'm their mom, and my job is to protect them. I've heard too many stories about kids getting attached to someone who ends up disappearing from their lives, and I don't want that for my boys. They're still adjusting to the whole idea of their parents not being together, and the last thing I want is to confuse them. On our last date, Tom brought up the topic of meeting my kids. It caught me off guard because, in my mind, it was still way too soon to even consider something like that. We've only been seeing each other for about a month, and while I like him, I don't know him well enough yet to make that kind of decision. I told him that I'm not comfortable with introducing my kids to someone I've only been on a few dates with. It's a boundary I've set for myself, and I thought he'd understand. But he didn't. Tom seemed surprised, almost offended, and said that if we were going to keep seeing each other, he needed to meet my kids. His reasoning? You can tell a lot about a woman by meeting her kids, he said. He started listing things off, like how he wanted to see if they were polite, if they listened, if they were little shits. His words, not mine. He said that if they were annoying, it would be a deal breaker for him. He even went as far as to say that how a woman raises her kids is a reflection of who she is, and he needed to know if they were well behaved before committing to more dates. I was honestly shocked. I told him that my kids aren't some kind of test he gets to pass or fail me on. They're children, not criteria to be judged, and I wasn't going to let someone I barely know interact with them. I get that people want to know what they're getting into when they date someone with kids, but I felt like he was being entitled, like he thought he had the right to evaluate my parenting or my kids' behavior after just 4 dates. That didn't sit well with me at all. I told him flat out that I wasn't comfortable with it, and that's when things took a turn. He said he wouldn't go on any more dates with me unless I agreed to introduce him to my boys. He said there was no point in continuing to see each other if my kids turned out to be a nightmare, and that he wasn't going to waste his time if that was the case. I was honestly stunned that he was drawing such a hard line, especially this early on. I told him that I respected his feelings, but my priority is my kids, and I'm not going to introduce them to someone unless I know it's serious. He said I was being unreasonable and that I was overprotective. We haven't spoken since, and now I'm left feeling confused. Part of me wonders if I'm being too rigid with my boundaries. Maybe he's right, and I should be more open to introducing him to my kids sooner rather than later. But another part of me feels like I'm doing the right thing by putting my kids first, even if it means losing someone I've been enjoying spending time with. So, am I the asshole for refusing to let Tom meet my kids after only 4 dates? Should I have been more open to the idea, or was I right to stick to my boundaries? It feels like we're both digging our heels in, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm being too cautious. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.